You just got to stop and look at it. They really did a beautiful job. I know I say it over and over and over again, but it's the truth. And in life, you need to stop and appreciate things. I think I have the RSV4 pretty much where I want it. The CRT exhaust definitely is a lot more toned down since this bike has that cat in the mid pipe. I don't remember the brand, but I got it on Etsy, something to get rid of the stupid fender eliminator. So I did that. Did the tune from Gabbro, removed this sticker, have my quad lock mount. I think for the moment, let's just enjoy it a little bit. So, go meet Jimmy and Maria, Chris, head out to the island, have some breakfast. Neighbors love me. At least it's not that early today. I like it. I think I'm going to stick with this until eventually I want to make it stupid loud and do like a GP22 and get rid of the cat and stuff. But I think for now, she's good. I got Jimmy. Maria threw her back out. She's not making it. And we hit the Bell Parkway. It is beautiful out. A little chilly, a little brisk, but in a good way. So, I got layers. I'll take it. Jimmy being like Chris? Nah. I don't think he has trouble with his CarPlay. It is a beautiful day. It would be so much more beautiful without all these cars, but not much that we can do about it. We'll just try to enjoy the ride and watch whatever the hell's falling off of cars in front of us. There is traffic. This is the Bell Parkway. It's okay. We're still doing good on time, and Chris is going to be late anyway because it's right by his house, and Chris is always late. We'll see. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I'll still take this over a day not riding. She does pretty good in traffic, I have to say. The clutch is, I'm not going to say light. They're all relatively light, right? But it's cable driven, and it's got a nice feel to it, and it's consistent. The Ducatis tend, I feel like, not to be that consistent with the hydraulic clutch, but 'tis what it is. But yeah, you know, I know a lot of people say these things run hot. It's also 50-something degrees, so I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about Jimmy's Harley overheating either, you know, without movement. I don't think he's worried about it. I've never seen him really worry about it. I always do. I'm always like, if we're sitting in too slow traffic for too long on the Harley, if I can split, I'm splitting. If I can't split, I'm going to get off and take a break. I always worry about it. Never have I seen Jimmy worry about it. He probably knows something I don't. I don't know. Now, let's get through this. Finally, a little bit of no traffic. Grand Central Parkway, but then it's getting us off, so man, this is screwed up Tuesday, I guess. So I agreed with my navigation. It didn't take me on the LIE. The LIE is it's the LIE. What are you gonna do? But I'm impressed. I am impressed for certain. We are just about here, Kitchen Cabaret. Oh, I think Chris is actually here. That's shocking. He proved me wrong. You proved me wrong. I figured you were going to be late for sure. I know, but usually when it's close to your house, you're the last one there. What's up?
Nah, man. How are you?
Good. And here we are. All right, now we actually are on the LA. It is what it is. I guess I'm okay with it. Are we on the LA? I don't even know. No, Northern? We're going to the Northern. Chris is leading. His CarPlay worked. Always a good thing. Oh, yeah. No, a better thing is that we're almost there, I think. I don't know. Because I'm hungry. Christian's bike sounds good. I like the full exhaust. Aha, the Harley. The Harley boys. So these two are playing around. Well, they want to play around. I think it's funny either way. They're kind of jumping on the throttle a little bit. Maybe we'll get an opening. Look at them. Two girls. Oh, too funny. Looks like no drag race this time. What are you gonna do? Oh, maybe. Maybe not. We're here. No drag race. A street glide, a road glide CVO, the CB1000, which it really does sound good with that exhaust, and the Aprilia. So 2 Americans, Japanese, Italian, we're all over the map. And now our breakfast spot for the day. You know, we haven't been up to sunny side up in a while out in Connecticut. I think we need to do that. But a Maureen's Kitchen will do. Back. Beautiful breakfast, beautiful day. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about my opinions on this bike now that I've got some miles on it. Let's see where we're at. 823 miles on it. So I think I'll chat about that and just enjoy the day. Enjoy a nice November ride out in New York with friends. Oh, well, what a beautiful day. What are my thoughts? Now, Chris and Christian, they left. I got Jimmy following me, so we're just chilling. We're just cruising back. I keep saying it. If I would have bought an Aprilia first, and it stays true. I mean, this bike is just so nice to ride. The power delivery. We were having some fun with it earlier, and it's fast but controllable. Doesn't quite feel like it wants to kill me, although you know it can. It's comfortable, the seat, it's roomy. I mean, the controls work, everything just, I don't know. I've test ridden so many bikes and have a bunch and spent a lot of time in the saddle on a whole bunch, but I really do feel like, even though Aprilia's line, at least in the United States, is somewhat limited, right? So they have a pair of V4s, the Tuono and the RS, and then they have a trio of 660s, right? They have the RS, the Tuono, and the Touareg, and then that's pretty much it. But even with that limited range in this country, I think they have some of the best bikes you can get. I still say the 660s are so much. Oh, I forgot they have a 457 too, and the Tuono and the RS 457. I think that would be a great starter bike, or a bike, you know, to have the feel without being too scary and have the sound and all that stuff. I think the 660s are still one of my favorite engines. They have a great sound. They have enough power to really have fun without scaring you. I've not ridden a Touareg, although Shantae kind of looked at one recently, so I wonder where that's going to go. And then there's the V4s. I mean, they're literally everything you could want power-wise, in my opinion. I mean, they're smooth, they sound great, the transmissions are slick, the chassis feels so good. They share a lot of parts, so you can get used to one and the other. You know, it just, I really think Aprilia has stepped up, and especially when you consider, now granted, I've done the Gabbro tune and the exhaust on this so far, but when you consider that this bike is a Euro 5 plus compliant machine, and they managed to get 220 horsepower out of it, and I forget the torque, but it's actually more impressive than you would think. I forget what the torque is. I know it's in Newton meters. I think I converted it. I think it may have been 90. Like, it was more than you thought, more than I thought, I guess. I don't know. It's just impressive how they put it together. Even the screen works really well. All the electronics, I think, work really well. Listen, I'm not a track rider, so people will criticize brake feel, even when they have the same caliper, right? People will criticize and say, oh, the Ducati feels like it's got more powerful brakes or whatever. Oh, and they share the Brembo high pure calipers and all that stuff. I don't know. To me, they work great. You know, I've never had an issue. So, but yeah, I mean, the menus are easy to go through. You can see everything, you can go through everything. The backlit controls is cool, not so much right now, but at night. I wonder what's going on there. But if I had one complaint, and maybe somebody can tell me what I have to do to get this taken care of, but it's really annoying that they took cruise control. I don't care about the rest of the packages and dashboards and stuff, but they took cruise control away from the base model and they made it now part of like an add-on package. What the hell? Now it adjusts your wheelie control, which you could always set it to do, even when the cruise control works. It's just so frustrating. If anyone knows, because it's not even clear. It's like, you can buy this pack, and there's no, like, click here to find out how. You know, unless they want you to go to their dealer, but I like to know things before I just end up, you know, showing up to the dealer. And also, my dealer is 2 hours away, so I got to plan it, you know. So yeah, if anyone knows what's involved in getting the cruise control to work, it'd be a great help. Other than that, that's really my big complaint. You know, that I feel is kind of chintzy, but it's also the direction a lot of these bike manufacturers. I know KTM was doing that, and my friend Ray has the KTM, and he bought all the stuff because it was like, oh, it was awesome, you know. And I'd probably buy it too. It would have been nice to have had that option at the time of purchase. That'd be cool. How about that, Aprilia? Add that in at the time of purchase. I don't know, maybe you can, and I just didn't know about it. But yeah, that's my biggest gripe. And I get it too when someone says, you're on a super bike, what do you need cruise control? Man, I ran into a guy at the Tail of the Dragon on the way down to Daytona last month, and he had a Tuono factory, and he got rid of it. He was younger, he was a little bit more of a daredevil, I guess. He thought the Tuono would kill him, so he traded it and he got an MT-09, which is another great bike. And he got the MT-09 SP, and I was like, oh, that's great, you got the suspension. He goes, I didn't even care about the suspension, he said. He goes, I wanted the cruise control. And it's the truth. Cruise control on any motorcycle is something you do not realize you need until you have it, and then try to go on a trip without it. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm undecided on what to do next. I was very happy to get that fender eliminator, even though it's not exactly what or how I would want it, but anything is better than that stupid thing that was on the back. And I'm happy that I didn't have to buy 2 exhausts. I'm happy that the CRT on this model with the cat actually works really well. In fact, I asked Jimmy, and he said nope. He goes, it's not, you know, I forget how he said it. It doesn't sound it's not ear piercing. Now, he said something like the old Tuono was like a buzzsaw trying to chop his head off or something. But he gives this one the seal of approval. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, I always think about, do I want it louder, do I want it louder? You know, I don't know. I like the mirrors. Some people don't like mirrors. I like pretty much everything else about the bike as is, so it'll probably stay. Another thing I wanted to comment on this bike is the suspension. I have not yet played around with any sort of suspension adjustments. In fact, the only adjustment I did was the brake and clutch levers, I dropped them down a little bit so they're more in line with, you know, my hands. And it might not sound like it on this particular road, just because Belt Parkway around here is real shitty. Most of the Belt Parkway, I guess. But I really think they did a good job on the suspension. I'm gonna play around with it, see if I can come up with some suspension adjustments that kind of suit me a little bit better for my type of riding in my area and whatnot. But and I also need to do a little bit of research before I comment too much. But I wonder, and maybe somebody can tell me, are the spring rates different between the RSV4 and the Tuono? We're not talking factory models, stock to, you know, base to base. And the reason why I ask is because I know how similar the rest of the bike is. And I always felt like the Tuono was a little too softly sprung, and I don't get that feeling from this one. So it makes me wonder, are they sprung different? And if so, if I play around with this one and end up liking it, would it be worthwhile to get RSV4 springs to swap onto the Tuono? I want to change the fork oil, so I got 13,000 miles on the forks. I like to change fluids. I'm a fluid changer. You know, I'll do shit. What did I recommend? Like the first oil change is 600, and then like the second at, I don't know, 5,000 or whatever. But by 5,000 I've done like 4. So, but anyway, I want to change the fluids on the forks, and that would be a good opportunity to change out the springs or any of the dampening. I'm wondering what's different between the suspension on this bike and the suspension on the Tuono. 2023 Tuono base versus 2026 RSV4 base. It's I guess it's homework time. But yeah, I wanted to comment on that because I really think that you know, again, I'm only 800 and some odd miles, nothing really twisty, not too crazy, little bit of sweepers upstate. It's just the stability, especially at higher speeds and, you know, leaned over, just feels really good. So, not that the Tuono doesn't, that's the thing. I just feel like the Tuono is a little too soft. I don't know. Do some homework and then I'll figure it out. But if anyone happens to know, that would be much, much appreciated. Oh, look, he figured it out. First of all, it probably shouldn't be on the parkway. That's a different story altogether. I'm going to jinx myself. But actually, that's not true. Because I've already gotten way further than I anticipated without hitting traffic. And it still looks blue on my map. But I'm going to text Jimmy when I get home. Because we were talking about how, by Erskine Street, by Rockaway Parkway, by JFK, there's always traffic. I don't know what we did, by what in God's grace allowed us to go this far. And I bet you Jimmy's going to say the same thing, without hitting traffic. Oh, really caps off a nice midweek ride with friends when you don't have to suffer through what you normally know you're gonna suffer through. Yeah, look at this. Watch the highway be closed ahead. I don't know. I hope I didn't jinx it. I'll tell you another thing I wish they would do with navigation. And maybe they do, and I just don't know how to do it. But like it says, get off in 3.2 miles. I wish it would tell me how long it should take to get those 3.2 miles. So you could kind of like judge, is my overall trip, like when you see you got to go, 40 miles, 40 minutes. So there's probably no traffic. But when you see you got to go like 20 miles in 40 minutes, now you got a question, right? And it'd be nice to know, is the traffic now? Is the traffic at the end? I don't know. And I know you can overview the map and see it, but you get what I'm saying? It's like, how long until that next step? It's like when you hit traffic and it tells you, 9 minutes of traffic. Like, that's kind of nice to know. Hey, it's not too horrible. At least for New York City. I don't know. One of my gripes, I have a lot of gripes with cell phone navigation, but overall I also have to appreciate it because, well, it just about never gets us lost. It has every available route in the world. I mean, it's a net positive to the world. Doesn't mean I won't have some gripes with it. But that's neither here nor there. Well, I think it's time to say goodbye to Jimmy. He's got to go one exit more than me. Later, Jim. I'll text you when We didn't jinx ourselves. I'm in shock. We completely anticipated being in traffic like this whole freaking time. So, yeah, that tops off a good morning, a good breakfast, some good friends. So, oh, that was weird. I used the clutch. Need gas. Stop at the gas station where I started the day. Not my typical gas station, but she'll do. Oh, I think this is what Jimmy was telling me about. That there's a whole bunch of pre-owned motorcycles right here. I'm gonna have to check it out. Not that I need another motorcycle. I don't need another motorcycle. But isn't that the point? You can look. Don't touch. Touch. Don't taste. Taste. Don't swallow. Wise man once said that.